Hello, this is Eva Lichru, Greek psychotherapist and coach in London. I would like to start today by saying a very big thank you to all of those that have supported me tremendously so far with all your kind words and emails. And since I mentioned about emails, I would like to continue with sharing an email I received from Vasya, and she asks, how can I become successful in a difficult working environment? How can I cope working with unfriendly colleagues and manager who can ultimately bully me? My intention is to create an alliance with them so that they could potentially support me and promote me in the future. My work reality has been that my colleagues have been accusing me for things that I haven't done. How can I deal with this kind of situation? Could it be that they don't want me in their team and they're trying to get rid of me? Vasya, let me start by saying thank you for your amazing questions. I'm sure it will be very useful for so many people out there. So let me go right into the chase. Point number one that I would like to mention has to do with the idea of the bullying that you've mentioned. You have to be very honest with yourself and confess whether you truly believe that there might be an issue of bullying involved. If that is the case, you have to do whatever it takes to protect yourself first. And there are many different levels of protection you can choose from. First of all, you will have to speak to your director, CEO, whoever is mostly in charge of this company, especially in the case where bullying could be coming from your manager's side. There is no need to protect the other person and to put up with it. If you realize that there is no immediate action being taken, I would strongly advise you to consult with a solicitor. Of course, the most straightforward reaction for you to do would be to just walk away from such a negative environment. Which brings me to point number two of what I would like to say to you. It is very important to realize whether you want to stay in such an environment. If you think about it, the majority of your week is spent in the office, so you'd better make sure it's worth it. Make sure you feel part of a team that makes you feel inspired and motivated. Instead of focusing on how you could deal with your colleagues more effectively, I would start by thinking whether you truly would like to invest your time, your energy, your future in such a working environment or not. I'm aware that there is always the issue of recession, endless competition either in Greece or anywhere else in the world, a fact that makes you think twice about your options. And I truly respect this point, but are you willing to be part of this company for the next 2 to 5 years from now maybe? I would advise you that in the case that you do decide that this is not your ideal job, that you start looking around for other options. By doing so, you will eventually offer to yourself other options that might be better than where you are today, where bullying will no longer have a place, or even if you have to find a very basic kind of work, remember it won't be forever, but at least you will have protected yourself and you will be able to remind yourself that there is always another way out. As I have mentioned already, it's always very important to have at least 2 options in life, and then you get to decide what suits you the most, not someone else for you. Let's assume that there is no bullying issue involved, but you still have to face an unfriendly work environment. Again, I would encourage you to think how you see yourself progressing within the same company. Depending on your decision, I would be acting accordingly. So for example, if I'm interested in eventually getting a managerial position, I would do whatever it takes to prove both to myself as well as my boss that I'm perfectly capable of dealing with such a situation. It is a great rehearsal for you to prove to everyone else how capable you are. However, because I also realize that you have to deal with this situation rather eminently, what I would ask you to do is to think whether there has been any incident between yourself and your colleagues that might have resulted in creating an unfriendly attitude coming from them, or whether this is how your relationship has been ever since you began working for this company. Also, try to think of a way that you could make yourself invaluable not only to the company but to your colleagues too. That way they will have every reason why they would like to support you and ultimately become your raving fans. I know it can be hard sometimes, especially when you're also involved in an unpleasant situation, but always remember that it's so much easier and quicker for you to change rather than to expect for other people to change. There are 1,000 different scenarios you can think of that could possibly explain for your colleagues' attitude towards you, but it all comes down to what you want to do in life and how you want to deal with it. That was my rather long answer to you, Vasya. I hope it helps. As always, I would like to ask you, did you like my video? If so, you can make any comments and questions you would like. I will answer to each one of them individually. Don't forget to share with your friends and also share with me your personal stories. Did you ever have to face such a similar situation in the past? What did you do differently? Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.